Welcome to Tech20 Tuesday. My name's Jeff Whipple, and it's another week of fun and excitement here on Tech20 Tuesday, and it's December. We've only got a couple of weeks left till Christmas time, and so I'm glad that you all could join me today. I see a lot of new names and new faces in the list today, so that's really cool. I'm really excited to be able to share with you again. This is December, and I got thinking Christmas gift, not to give away any secrets, but my Christmas shopping is basically done on apple.ca, and that's where I do all my Christmas shopping from. And so I thought, well, let's talk about some iPads, because iPads are really cool. So I thought, let's talk about what you can do with them. So here we are. Today we're going to talk today and next week, and this is going to be, for those of you who have an iPad, this is going to be really, really basic. So if you find that what we're talking about today is a little basic, well, that's where it's meant to be. It's really meant to be for a starter version of the iPad. So iPads are really cool. They're what's known as tablets, and we're really seeing a lot of them. iPads are just one of a number of 3 or 4 different versions out there. There are Android tablets. There are Microsoft has their own tablet as well, running on Windows 8 now. So there's a few different versions of tablets out there. So it's not just so much that the iPad is the cool tool, but the neat thing about the iPad is that if you've got other Apple products, it all integrates in. So we're going to have a quick look at Apple products today, the iPad in particular, and I am going to just pull down a camera here, and I was thinking that I might have a camera, but it's telling me I have no connected camera. Just give me one moment here, and I'm going to see if I can get a camera running. Oh, look at that! I've got a camera running. So this is my iPad, and you can see how dirty it is. Wow, it's really dirty. So what we're going to do is have a quick look at the outside of it before we do anything, and you'll notice that on the iPad, on the very front of it, there are very few buttons. There's very few switches, other things, but there are a couple. The very first one is here in the top corner, top right-hand corner. There is a button, and this is the on-off switch. So this is the on-off switch. That's the power switch. And right below that, you're going to see just a very, very small camera. The neat thing about the new iPads, and I think the thing that makes it more interesting for me, is that the very first version of the iPad that came out had no cameras built into it. But now that we've got cameras on both the back and the front of the iPad, it really is become a much more powerful device. And I'm just wondering, is my microphone... Yeah, it's still working. Okay, so the other thing you're going to find at the top is that over on this side, over on the left-hand side, there's a little microphone or a headphone jack. So that's really cool. It also is a microphone jack. It's got a three wire on it, so you can get microphone there. And then over here on the right-hand side, there's a volume switch. And to turn the volume up and down, it's simply you're pushing the sides of them, and then there's a little mute button right beside it, right up here. So that's really it. In the bottom of it, and the very bottom, there is the power. There is no USB on an iPad, so you will not get a USB connector. You can't push in your USB memory stick or anything like that. But this is where you charge it and you connect it to your computer. And next week we're going to talk about using the iPad for taking pictures and for video. And we'll be talking about that switch in particular. The other button that you're going to see a lot of is the one on the bottom here, and it's the home button. And it's sort of the central theme for the central home for the iPad. It's the one you're going to use the most, and it will take you back. It wakes up the iPad up from sleep, like mine is right now. It's sleeping. So to wake it up, I would just click on this button, and it would come awake. You can see it waking up, and now I can push the thing across, and all my icons show up. The other thing that I've purchased that I think makes it a really interesting tool is that I've actually got an external Bluetooth keyboard. And so what I can do, is to simply take my iPad and stick it in to the keyboard, it just slides into this case, and then it sits like this. So it actually makes it fairly functional, almost like a mini tablet. So you can see that it's got a Bluetooth keyboard right on it, and so it basically turns it into a mini tablet. And I'm going to turn the keyboard on so it actually works. So what I'm going to do now is I do want to talk about some of the apps and those kinds of things. So I am going to, can't hear me. Rose, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Microphone is closed. Oh, I know why. There, can you hear me? There. Hello. There, can you hear me now? Okay. So I think you should be able to hear me now. Is that correct? Okay. Okay, so what happened is I plugged in that external HD webcam and it had a mic in it, so it wanted to actually use that. So I'm going to close up Photo Booth for a second. I'm going to close up the Tech20Tuesday. We're going to save that. And I am going to turn on an app that I've purchased. It's called Reflection. And what it allows me to do is to actually connect my iPad to my computer and share the desktop. So I'm going to do that right now. And now you should actually begin to see my iPad on the desktop. So the iPad itself is the iPad itself, and I'm going to go to a full version, full Windows, full view here, so you can see the whole thing. So the iPad itself actually shows me. It works a little different than a regular computer, in that it is my sound but no video. Do you guys see my desktop? Okay, so hopefully you guys are hearing me. Can somebody give me a shout out if you're hearing me? I'm going to close this mic and open the other mic. Just give me 1 second. There. So I think this is working now. Basically what's happening here is that I'm sharing the reflection of my desktop, or my iPad on my desktop. Now, somebody asked, can we do this at school? Absolutely we can. It can be done on any computer as long as they're on the same network. I happen to be home right now, so you can actually, as long as the iPad and the computer are on the same network. So it really depends on where you are and what you're doing. But I happen to be home, and I've got on my home network, and they're both sharing the same network, so they're all good to go. So this is my iPad. Now each one of these is called an app, what you see on the desktop. And this is kind of the standard app that you get as you open up your iPad out of the case. You'll get a few of these apps. You're going to see the Messages one, which is basically an instant messaging service that you can hook into your phone or any of those kinds of things. There's a calendar, which I've begun using a lot. That's basically where my daily schedule is inside of here. You can see when I open it up. And the neat thing about it is that it actually connects and syncs to my iPhone. So as I'm using and updating it, and on my computer, so all three of them get updated. So it doesn't matter what device I have. If I have my app, if I have my iPhone with me when I update my calendar, it will automatically make the changes on my iPad and on my other ones. I've got contacts, there's reminders, there's a little notepad in here that you can use to take notes. It's kind of cool. There's a clock. The clock actually will allow you to use it for an alarm clock and all those kinds of things as well. Maps, videos. The Apple Maps are not very good. I still use the Google Maps. But the big one in here that's really cool for you is this one called App Store. So when I open up the App Store, you're going to see it. It's going to be a slight delay here. Hopefully it's going to pop up, and you guys should see the App Store open up because I'm watching this offline as well, and hopefully it's going to bump right up any time now. Got a lot of people on today, so I don't know if that slows things down or not, but so I've got my computer trying to share a desktop. That is very slow. Anyway, the App Store is where you go and you can search for apps, and you can run different apps. You can find different apps in there, and there's a lot of apps for games. There's all kinds of different apps for other things, and I'm going to switch over here, hopefully come over to another page. It seems that the actual screen sharing of the Bridget thing is not working very well at all, and I'm probably putting pretty heavy load on my home network, although it is a fiber optic network. I think that we're really messing it up here. And I've tried to move over to a new screen, and it's showing, oh, there we go. Now we're on the next screen. So here you can see that I've got apps in folders. You can take your apps and move them into folders. I happen to have a folder here called Productivity. I have another one called Social, just coming across the top. And in my Productivity folder, I put a number of apps. And the ones that I use in there are Keynote. Keynote is kind of like a Apple's version of PowerPoint, GarageBand, iMovie, Pages, my Google Drive, Google Editor. And the neat thing about these, that the iPad is that it's really set up to be a tool for use with web-based tools, so cloud-based computing. Then all my social apps, so Twitter, Facebook, Skype, Edmodo, which is, as we've seen before, by the way, Edmodo, which we talked about a couple of weeks ago, does have an Edmodo app for both the iPhone and for all kinds of phones and all kinds of mobile devices, including the iPad. Smart Bridget, VoiceThread, Edublogs, which is my blogging platform, and Google+, which I've really gotten excited about lately, what Google's doing with Google+. I've got another one here called Books, and inside my Books one, I've got a Kindle reader, and I've got an eBooks, which is where I download and read all my my books off of both Amazon for Kindle and the e-reader, which is an Apple product itself. Then I've got my news and weather one, and then here are a couple of really cool ones that you can use with kids. So if you've got kids at home, or you happen to have one of these in your classroom, you can open them up. And I've just got a couple in here. There are literally hundreds and hundreds of free apps that are available to you out there as an educator, both free and paid apps. So basically what this one is, this one's ScrapPad, which is a new one that we've just started playing with a little bit. And this one is for students to create scrapbooks. So you could start at the first of the year with students in a classroom and start to create scrapbooks. And they could basically collect all of their stuff during the course of the year and create their own portfolio using ScrapPad. That's an interesting little one. To get back to my home page, I simply press that home button that's over on the right hand side. Then there's another one called GlowNote, or on the left hand side I should say. GlowNote is a pretty cool one because what it allows me to do, and it's going to be a little bit of a delay, but I'm just going to click on the free version. I'm going to hit play and adding text. And so what it will allow me to do is to actually draw using my finger. So I could draw in here, I can put in my name, and you'll see it pop up on your screen. It's just a little delayed. On the actual screen here, it's very fluid. And when you're connecting between your iPad and my computer that I'm broadcasting off of, it's actually very fluid. You can actually stream video through this, so it's really, really a good connection. So now out of this, I can take this and capture it and save it so the students or young people or even old people like myself can do some creative things using all kinds of these creative platforms. To get back to my regular screen again, back to the home page where all the apps are, I just click on that home button over on the left hand side, or if it's flipped over, it's on the right hand side, depending on which one it's at. So I've got other apps in here. Now the neat thing about the apps is that I can actually take these apps and put them into the folders just like I have here. So for instance, let's look at if I thought that iTunes U and Prezi made a good couple that I wanted to put into a folder, all I need to do is to take the iTunes U app, which is right here, and drag it and put it on top of the Prezi app. And what you will see happen, because I'm going to do that, I just have to hold my finger on it and you'll start to see the apps vibrate, and there's a little X in the corner. That's how you delete an app. But all I need to do is I just need to start dragging my app up here. I don't know if it's going to show on the broadcast screen or not. I've moved the app up and I'm going to drag it on top of the Prezi, and it's going to drop right into a folder that's going to be called Education. So I'm going to undo that and put it in beside it. Oh, too late, already done. So now I've got a folder named Education that I actually have both iTunes U and Prezi in. So it's easy to move these around and to control them and to basically design your own platform for yourself. So I do want to come back to the App Store just very quickly. Hopefully we'll be able to see this now. And I can go, if I click in the App Store and then click on the bottom where it says Genius, yeah, I'm just seeing some question. Turn the mics off. Okay. Yeah, Reflection is the app that you use to reflect your iPad onto your computer that you buy. The app, the Reflection app, is actually, it's about $11.99, I think. It's PC or Mac based, and you actually install it on your computer. So it goes on your computer, and then you can bring any Mac, any iPad into it. So it's neat if you have a number of iPads. They can just connect and disconnect from that computer, that host computer, at will. The other ones that you saw there, you saw GlowNote, and you saw what was the other app that we had there? The one with the for the making your portfolios, and both of those are free. There are paid versions of those as well. So now I am into the App Store, but it's not, doesn't seem to be going to pop up here. It seems to be really slow. But that is basically how the app can be used, or the iPad can be used. It is very much a device that's made to be mobile and to be part of the mobile web, which is really the future of learning, and the future of our whole world is going to be on devices like this and phones. So it's kind of like a big phone. Apple also has just recently come out with an iPad mini, which is a little smaller than the iPad. Like I said, I've just purchased one, I ordered one through the Apple Education Store for Canada. By the way, if you're going to go out and purchase one of these for your kids for Christmas, don't order it, don't go to a store and order it from the Apple Education Store. You'll save about anywhere between 30 and 50 bucks per machine, and they'll engrave it and do all kinds of nice things to it. So you can order those online through the Apple Education Store. So that's about it for today. Next week, I really want to take some time and look at how you can take pictures and audio and use that inside your iPad and to create stuff using the iMovie software and some other software, and also how you can transfer pictures and video that you've taken on your iPad into your computer. It's very, very easy. It works very nicely. So that's it for Tech 20 Tuesday today. I hope to see you all again next week here on Tech 20 Tuesday, and we will hopefully see you next Tuesday. It'll be the last one before Christmas. I'll be around for a little bit if you have any questions. Thanks now. Bye-bye.